It's an expensive endeavor for parents and oftentimes for kids, and it's not uncommon when you were talking to kids that they end up, when they're done, with some pretty significant loans out there. And we want to see if we can find a way to ease the burden for them. And we looked around and we found that a number of states had some provisions in the area of both tax credits and tax deductions.
The tax credit would be a $1,000 tax credit, which is meant to help working families. It would only be available for folks and families with adjusted gross incomes of less than $150,000 a year. I know that sounds like a pretty high benchmark, but if you're living downtown in the city of Chicago, $150,000 doesn't go quite as far as it does where I'm from in downstate Illinois. So that $1,000 tax credit would be helpful to middle-class families and helpful to keep students right here in Illinois. Even beyond their educational term, we hope to keep them here for employment opportunities as well. Coupled with that, we have a $10,000 tax deduction, and that would be the maximum amount that you could set aside in a 529 college savings plan. So right now, the state of Illinois offers two similar plans. You've got College Illinois and Bright Start. However, if you invest in these funds, they're controlled by the state of Illinois. They decide what your limitations are as far as who you can invest with and what direction these accounts are going to go. We want to give that a little bit more flexibility, and in doing so, families will have the opportunity to decide exactly what funds that $10,000 goes towards, if they want to have a savings account, if they want to have CDs, or if they'd like to invest with another independent agency.
As high as 30% of our incoming freshmen are leaving the state. What I fear is that there's a higher percentage each year of students not coming back upon graduation.
We have people leaving the state to go to college. It's less likely that they're going to come back. So we need to be much more competitive to make sure that our kids stay here and that they start raising their families here. And it's also going to help with the job pool. I mean, once you get a lot of people that are educated here, they're going to be educated, more minded towards the businesses and the business community that they want to live in.
We had a lot of discussion this spring about shifting costs to higher universities and shifting the cost of pensions to community colleges and the rest. And basically, our state universities are saying that for every 1% of normal cost, which is the cost a employer would pay for their pension, is a 2% increase in tuition. And that could be up to 10% more in tuition in the state of Illinois. So we're being sensitive to the word cost and the cost of what it is for you, not only for a loan to have to pay off in the future, but also, making sure that you have access to the best schools in the whole country.
It's cheaper to go to college in Wisconsin than it is in Illinois for Illinois students. And there's 31% of Iowa's freshmen are from Illinois. 21% of Missouri's freshmen are from Illinois. It's cheaper to go out of state than to stay here in state and use some of our wonderful state facilities. The last 10 years have been dismal in terms of our funding for our university systems. For a strong and vibrant middle class, you need a good education.
I have two girls. One just got done with vet medicine about 2 years ago. Another one just got done. She was ISU, and she transferred to University of Southern Indiana, and it was cheaper for her to go out of state than it was for her to stay in state. And those are the sort of things that we're going to try and correct with this legislation.
The important thing is that, the education is the foundation for all the people here, and that's our future. But if we look at the numbers, and one of the reasons that necessitates this, in fiscal year 12, there were more than 840,000 that applied for MAP grants, and out of that group, 369,674 were eligible, but because of the money that's appropriated, there was only a little over 150,000 that actually received grants.
We want to make sure in this state that we keep our best and brightest here. It'll be the most important thing for, the entrepreneurial spirit, for current businesses to grow. We need that to grow our economy and make our state better. So right now, my wife and I are currently paying off student loans and trying to prepare for our kids. So we want to make sure to give every opportunity and every incentive to make sure that other parents can do the same.